guys, well, inevitably, after I do a review online, a company will get a hold of me, and I don't know, I decided to say yes to these guys. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that. Oedro lighting. I did a little research into them, and they actually have a facility here in Kent, in the Pacific Northwest, up in Washington, and that was kind of the reason I agreed to do it. I am pleased. I just recently went back to their website, and they have changed the photos. It was a bit disconcerting when you have companies like this that show, you know, Jeeps with 50-inch light bars and light going out into the desert, and you realize that they don't even sell a 50-inch light bar. So, are those product photos even their product? Is what makes you kind of wonder. So, decided to go with them. Initially, I almost got their biggest bar, which is a 20-inch bar for the Scout, and then I thought maybe I could do kind of a 4-inch comparison to the Rigid, the original D2s that I put on the Scout. And again, a lot of you guys, if you followed the channel, the Scout has essentially a projector high-low setup conversion in it, and I just found that modern LEDs a few years back could not handle you know, the light output compared to an HID setup. Of course, technology has changed, so I'm curious to see how this is going to do, just to kind of give you an idea of how it comes and what you're getting. You're getting one light. This is their 4-inch. Set that aside. And the only other thing is this gigantic box, space filler. There, she focused. And in that bag, you get a bolt, a nut, and a lock washer, it looks like. And we'll get into that in a second. So, space filler, hopefully they use the same box for other sizes. So what you're looking at is their 4-inch. Their 4-inch does have 9 LED dies in it. And I'm going to put in a couple close-ups. You can see these Allen bolts in here are quite torn up. Just during the assembly process. That doesn't bode well for the quality of this thing. I do like the circular design. Of course, according to their literature, adds a lot more cooling for these cooling fins in here. Air is supposed to be able to trickle back here and get in there. And I also like the fact that it's quite easily, because of that circle design, that you get a much sturdier sort of adjustment. Up to 45 degrees can you pivot this. It would have been nice to see if that bolt kit came with the proper Allen key in order to loosen that up and do the adjustments. You're going to have to take that off anyway in order to mount this with the provided bolt. But a lot of places will give you, just even if it's a cheap little Allen key, they'll give you that so you can make the proper adjustments. That's it. There's no wiring harness. You know, I probably would put this along the lines of most of the eBay kits that you guys are going to find out there, the Amazon.com kits. But we will see. We'll see what the quality is. And, you know, I've done other reviews. The AvMonster reviews, I always said, was kind of in the middle. It's above the sort of eBay, Amazon kit. So let's see where these guys stack up. Let's do a quick comparison. Let's go outside and just see what this looks like. All right, guys, went up to ISO 800 just for these settings. Again, this is supposed to be a spot. It's super floody. We will continue to test it. What I'll do is actually put on the... Alright guys, what I've done is plug in the AvMonster, the non-floody, the old F40 that we just showed in our review. That is much more of a spot than that 4-inch. And obviously the AvMonster SS25 I just reviewed is going to be crazy spot. Alright, what you're looking at is the old original Rigid Industries D2. And I can move it around here just so you can get an idea. Old, decent light. Now, we're going to compare, remember this is the spot beam from... These guys are the 4-inch. That is not much of a spot, is it? So if we can raise it up and see if we can burn out this old D2 here. Nope. Still much more focused beam on the Rigid. All right, well, wrapping things up, I had a chance to take this out to the desert last weekend and played around with a little bit, especially when it's in an environment like the Alvord Desert where there's absolutely no light pollution out there, just to see what this could do. And I really got about the same results as we got here in the driveway. My idea was to test it up against the Rigid, the old Rigid. These are the ones that were in the driveway photo. This one here, I'll put in a quick photo, actually had moisture in it years ago, and it has since gone away, and I haven't had an issue with this. A lot of times this is actually stored behind the seat. You can see the actual setup I have. I've somewhat taken a pair of towing lights and use those as a temporary mount so that I can use this as a camp setup light. What I might end up doing now is just mounting the Rigids off at kind of a side angle to give a little more side light for driving. And then I think what I'm going to do is use these for primarily loading light, backup light, camp setup light. Even though these are in a spot configuration, you'll see the close-ups through the review of the reflector in there, it isn't really getting a whole lot of throw. I will say they're quite a bit lighter. Now this does have a very heavy magnet, so it's a little unfair to do the comparison right now, but I think it would work equally well up on my rack as sort of a camp setup, backup light, things like that. You know, whether or not you really should go with the flood, these spots are pretty floody, as you've seen. So my recommendation is to use it as such, as sort of a work area lamp. It's going to be nice low draw, certainly low cost. I'll put some links down below. And then, of course, if you have an older vehicle that's really suffering from its overall output, you know, it'd be kind of a toss-up whether you should try some LED inserts into the actual headlight housing, or maybe just mount a couple fog lamps. Certainly, if you're looking to get some, you know, front illumination directly in front of the vehicle and you're not trying to shoot down the road to find the kangaroos or the deer, you know, this would definitely serve that purpose as well. But I think that's primarily what it's for. I'll be interested to see. The company's going to try to send me the 20-inch bar, and we'll take a look at that. I do believe it's a similar array. It's just, obviously, instead of 4 inches, it is 20 inches. And then we'll take a look at that and just see what that looks like. So that certainly is their most high-end product right now. The biggest LED bar that they do is the 20-inch, and then maybe we can do a comparison with some of these here. And then, of course, you've also seen some of the Av Monster light bars reviewed that I've done that are typically just for motorcycling. But as I say that, with motorcycling, because the weight of this is considerably less, you could consider this definitely for the motorcycle as well. I worry a little bit about some of these bigger lights like these guys, the Ridges and Industries and things like that. When I start seeing them on KLRs, because it's just going to be so much weight. Certainly some of the 1200 GSs can handle a little bit more, but this is definitely a good price. Again, I'll put links down. It is available on Amazon. I'll put a link to their website as well. They're constantly changing their photos and their setup, so we'll be curious to see whether or not they can step up the game and offer up a pretty good competition for what is already a pretty flooded market. But thanks for watching, guys. This is Beast with the Oedro, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, 4-inch LED bar. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.